Hello guys, welcome to my presentation. Today I'm really excited to talk about Selenium. So Selenium is a Python library that allows you to do data scraping and web automation. So Selenium was developed by Jason Huggins. So when he initially developed Selenium, his goal was to really test a large scale application you are working on at Thought's work. So he realized that the process of testing web app is very tedious when you have multiple components to test. So he developed a framework to complete his project. The first version of Selenium was written in JavaScript and he named it JavaScript Test Runner. After that, Jason made he open sourced the project. So the project became open source and a lot of developers got interested in this project. Part of the thing that Selenium get expanded to was data scraping and automation. And I think this is not really an add-on to Selenium. It was just the dimension people started to take the project. So many people started using it for data scraping because it allows you to access the content of the website, and people found it very useful to do web automation. So if you have some repetitive tasks to do, usually online, a lot of people use it to automate that. A good example is emailing your boss every morning or the same email, like the context of the email is the same every morning. You can literally use Selenium to do that. So a lot of you guys haven't listened to Selenium, like the sort of like brief history behind Selenium. How does it work? So basically, I think of there's an interface that's built into Selenium called the Selenium WebDriver, and I describe this as an engine because basically it works underneath the hood for different browsers. So you can use it to connect to different browsers. The two popular browsers are Chrome and Firefox, but I think it works on other browsers too. So Selenium has different so like source code is developed in different languages like JavaScript. This was the first language I started with, and now it's in Python, Java, and C Sharp, and a lot of other languages too, maybe. So, what is it? There are two powerful things that Selenium does. The first one is that it allows you to accurately identify the HTML element on the website. So you get the structure of the HTML on the website. So with this location, you can be able to do a lot of manipulation with it. We'll get that in the next slides in this video. So another thing that Selenium is very good at is basically what I call a simulation. So Selenium allows you to simulate the behavior of a web user. So things like clicking, waiting, sending data. These are things that are very possible with Selenium, and you can write a script that simulate how a person would behave using a website. So you can use that to get data, send data, and basically interact with the websites. So things to know about. Maybe if you already have been writing HTML, this would be something that you already know. But if you have not, I'll just put this I'll just put this out there. You have to understand class name or CSS selector ID because this is the things that Selenium use to identify the element. So in HTML, you can assign a class name to an element. You can also assign an ID, and the element have a tag name and all of that. So Selenium use this to be able to identify the element and manipulate it. So I'll just let to leave a warning out there to you guys. With great power comes great responsibility. A famous thing, quotation from Peter Packer. So, what are those great responsibilities? Secondly, with Selenium, you have to make good programming choice. If you don't, your program going to be really slow. If you have done concurrent programming, if you load up a browser using Selenium, think of it as a process. So a lot of time, if you get really into programming and forget quitting or closing all these processes, you're gonna get really slow. You're gonna get annoying, and your computer gonna get really hard. I think. So this is also can be used for potential. malicious purposes. People can use this to do a lot of bad stuff. I'm just putting it out there. And the last part on this list is that companies like Amazon, they are aware of how people use this, so they have firewall on their website. So I'm just letting you know, because you might go out there try to, like, use your Selenium skills on some websites. You're gonna get blocked. They those people are already aware of Selenium, so they already set up some security measure to make you to not spam their sites. So with that being said, I'm gonna show you guys a code example of how Selenium works, and we're gonna be basically doing a scenario, right? So we have a friend on campus. We have realized on so many occasions he has been he has not been present for events on campus, weekly events. He's not aware because he doesn't check my work, and he's not checking his email too. But he's always active on Messenger. So we're going to use this. We're going to get data from my work, which is the schedule for the week, and we are going to spam his Messenger chat. So with that, after that, let's just go directly into the code. So for the first function, the three input statements I talked about. I'm importing WebDriver from Selenium. Selenium is a class. Think of it as a Python class, and it has this WebDriver. It's a library actually, and it has this WebDriver class in it. So a library have a lot of classes, and a WebDriver class is one of them. And I'm importing the bar method from the WebDriver class, and I'm importing the keys method from the WebDriver class. So yeah, this is just a starting code. I store my password and email in a TXT file, so I shouldn't be typing it in the code. So you guys should be saying, man, just to kind of protect my data too. So yeah, I'm just getting out all those like emails and password. I'm splitting on it, and I get it in the list. I'll index that list to kind of submit my email and password to the website. So what this function does is that it allows me to log into my Warburg and click on the events link. So yeah, I initialize the driver class using driver.chrome. They have a webdriver.firefox, so you can get all those like methods from the WebDriver, and they will give you different browser options. Driver.get, I'm taking this link and basically locating that link online. So I'm gonna load up a browser and visit the URL. So for this one, I'm importing my password to the import box on the website. Before I kind of explain what this is, let me just go back. I think go back to Chrome. Yeah, and let me go to already on my web. So if I inspect this, you will see, like I mentioned, Selenium use the CSS, the ID assigned to or the HTML element or the class. You can use this in CSS too to kind of like start the element, but for HTML, we just need to get the ID and also the class name. So if I go back to the code, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm using this bar method to do bar.id to identify that element by the element ID, and the name of the ID is username. So this file element is basically a class too from the driver class, and it allows you to get I think it's a method. Sorry, it's a method from the driver class that you can pass in the ID and the value of the ID. And what it does, that it has a send keys method on it that allows you to send the information and input the information just exactly as typing in my name like this, Joe Doslami. So it allows me to do this. And as you can see, I'm indexing my email from my username from this document. And I did the exact same thing for my password too as well. And let me go back and just show you guys. If I inspect this password, I'm looking at the ID. So I'll show you guys how it works. So another new thing that coming in is the by XPath. So by XPath, it allows you to run a loop. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna look at all the HTML tag. For this case, we're looking at all of the A tag that has this, and we found a specific one that has this link. So just to show you how that works, if I log into the website, If I come and do like this, if I inspect this, right click and inspect this one, this link. There are a lot of A tags actually, but this exact A tag has this link on it. So when I search that link, I'm going to find this A tag. And what I want to do, I want to click on it. So basically, I click on it. And if you do that, it allows you to have the click method. Actually, the Java have click send keys on it by default. And you can sort of like execute this method as you kind of grab the data from the website. I did this the same thing when I get on the calendar page. If I click here, it takes me into a calendar. And if you inspect this one, you go. Yeah, this is the sorry, my God, I'm looking for this. This is the main tag I'm actually just trying to like get. So you can see main. So I'm identifying that main because that's the name of the ID main, like exactly what I did before. And I'm basically doing Kalana the text to get the content. So to prove a concept, let me just print out that content really fast. Or schedule. If I can spell schedule properly, SCHE. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. Okay, yeah, I spell schedule. So after that, I'm gonna comment out some code. I'm gonna comment out this main function, which is gonna be later on. I'm gonna explain what's going on, and also, yeah, pretty much I'm gonna comment out that, and I'm gonna run that code. We're gonna see what happens. Python 3. So we're gonna locate that URL as like I mentioned in the video, and we're gonna come here and log into my Warburg and select the content of this. You're gonna see it's gonna get printed out on the page. Exactly. This is the content we need. So after this is done, now return it. We're gonna return the schedule bar. So now I wrote this messenger AI, this messenger chat that take the data that is returned by this function and send a message to our friend. There's this method called EC and this one called web driver wait. So these are all from the Java class. So what it does that it allowed me to wait for the element to sort of like load on the browser because Messenger, if you click on Messenger, it takes really long time to load. So this WebDriver wait allows you to wait until the element are present. If it is present, I select the email, the ID email. I do exactly all the same thing I did in the first video, but for this time around, I'm just sending my password to my Messenger, and I'm sending my email and my password to login, and I'm waiting. After I wait, I select the specific user on Messenger, which is Joe Slamy myself. I click on it, and I sort of select that text box, and after selecting the text box, I send myself this message say, "Hello, Joe Slamy. Log into my Warburg, collect the data from there." After collecting the data, spin up Messenger, put my email, put my password, exactly like an actual user. So all of this is automated. Login, find the Joe G. Slamy user, which is part of my friends list. And at this point, we are going to spam this user. We're going to spam this user with all of this good stuff. He needs to be informed about events on campus. Now we are done. We can kind of go back and read. So we send a message, say, "Hello, Joe G. Slamy.